We've had people call for the Prime Minister to resign, to call an election, that there needs to be new leadership. Are you making those kinds of calls publicly?
Well, I've thought that for some time we need to have a new election. If you're going to go toe-to-toe with the U.S. president, you need to say, I got a 4-year mandate and you're stuck dealing with me. And he can't say that right now. We don't know day to day whether or not he's going to survive his leadership. We don't know when the election's going to be called. We don't know who the people are that are going to be the lead on being at the negotiating table. And it's creating unnecessary uncertainty, not only for the provinces, because we also have a role in making sure that the border stays open and tariff-free, but also for every business that is looking at doing investment in our country. The uncertainty and the chaos is not helpful. And so I would say that we need to go to an election.
The Prime Minister doesn't seem to agree with you. He seems to want to keep on carrying on. But in the United States, Donald Trump has obviously been watching. And he was commenting on Chrystia Freeland's resignation, saying that the governor of the great state of Canada lost his finance minister and then had some unpleasant things to say about her. We can get angry about what Donald Trump says, or we can laugh at it. Whatever the case, he is coming in and he's making these threats and he's paying attention, and he knows that the current government is weak.
Yeah, we do not want to be on the president-elect's radar screen in this way. I think we all know that China is a problem because they're undercutting both of our manufacturing sectors. We know that Mexico has also been allowing China to be a backdoor to bring cheap goods into North America, I think in violation of the spirit of the agreement. That's what we would like to jointly be focused on, is how do we address those issues. But to have this inner turmoil, which is threatening our ability to get to the table and have a serious discussion, I don't think it benefits anyone. If there's a 25% tariff, it's going to impact our ability to continue to maintain our market share. It's going to be devastating for our economy. It's devastating especially for our manufactured goods. But if we end up then doing tit for tat and having 25% tariffs on American goods coming into Canada when we're in the middle of an inflation crisis and an affordability crisis, that's terrible for Canadian consumers. So we need to get to the table to avoid tariffs altogether. And that's what I think the premiers were focused on yesterday.
The issue of oil, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the oil coming out of your province is graded at Western Canadian Select. Already trades at about a 20% discount to West Texas Intermediate. You put a 25% tariff on it, suddenly it's more expensive than West Texas. It's almost as expensive as Brent. And what impact would that have on Alberta?
Well, we're not sure. I mean, it would take some time, I think, for the Americans to be able to try to find additional sources of that energy. And here's the thing, there aren't very many good sources for heavy oil. Heavy oil has the benefit of being able to make a number of products, including asphalt. And so many of the refineries in the US have been retooled specifically to receive heavy oil, and Canada's oil in particular. Their other options are Venezuela or Iraq or Iran, and our argument is we're a much better trading partner than any of those. So that's one of the realities that we're trying to make sure that Americans know, that by putting a 25% tariff on the 4.3 million barrels that go in from Canada, it's going to increase the price of gasoline probably by about $1 a gallon. And that's going to have a big impact on their inflation. And it's going to have an impact on their affordability crisis as well. So I think we have a very strong case to make. That's the case I make for oil. You can make an equal case for electricity. You don't want to see a 25% increase in power bills in the states that are reliant on power from Eastern Canada. The auto manufacturing and the parts go back and forth across the border 7 or 8 times before a car is assembled. That will just increase the cost of cars as well. So I would say that regardless of whether it's energy, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's food, we import a lot of American food products. There is no benefit to either Canadian consumers or American consumers in getting into a trade war. We've got to solve this.